How the Sahel Juntas are rebuilding power outside the West, guns and capital. Hi, this is Sal Pier. In West Africa's Sahel region, something historic and risky is taking shape. Within days of each other, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger unveiled two major initiatives that redefine how power is exercised in the region. A 5,000-troop joint military force and a new confederal investment and development bank. Together, they reveal a clear message from the Sahel's military governments: security will no longer be outsourced. Development will no longer be financed on foreign terms. Part 1. A NATO-style force in the Sahel. I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone, especially our loyal subscribers who make this possible. To our first-time viewers, we're so glad to have you. Your support means the world. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to us. Earlier this month in Bamako, the three junta-led states formally launched the United Force of the Alliance of Sahel States, known as FU-AES. The force brings together 5,000 soldiers, combining air power, intelligence sharing, and ground coordination across the Mali-Burkina Faso-Niger tri-border region, one of the world's deadliest hotspots for Islamist insurgency. The launch was presided over by Mali's leader, General Assimi Goïta, with defense ministers, ambassadors, and international observers in attendance. On paper, the mission is clear: to combat extremist groups that have killed thousands and displaced millions. But politically, the signal is sharper. This force was created outside ECOWAS, following the three countries' withdrawal from the regional bloc, which they accuse of enforcing sanctions and acting as a proxy for foreign interests, particularly France. For the juntas, FU-AES is not just a counter-terrorism force. It is a defensive shield against external intervention. Growing friction with Nigeria. The timing matters. Nigeria, West Africa's traditional security anchor, recently intervened militarily in Benin after an attempted coup, an action requested by Benin's government but viewed with suspicion by the Sahel Alliance. Tensions escalated further when a Nigerian military aircraft made an emergency landing in Burkina Faso and its crew was briefly detained. While diplomacy diffused the incident, the message was clear: the Sahel states are drawing new red lines. Part 2. Building an economic counterweight. Then came the second announcement, less dramatic but potentially more transformative. On December 13, 2025, finance ministers from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger announced the creation of the Confederal Investment and Development Bank of the Alliance of Sahel States, known by its French acronym BCID-AES. The bank's founding charter was signed in Bamako, again in the presence of General Assimi Goïta, who currently chairs the Sahel Alliance. Its purpose: to finance infrastructure, energy, agriculture, food systems, and cross-border connectivity in one of Africa's poorest and most fragile regions. In short, the juntas are attempting something unprecedented: to pair military autonomy with financial sovereignty. Why the bank matters. The Sahel faces overlapping crises: crumbling roads and transport links, chronic electricity shortages, heavy dependence on low-productivity agriculture, rising security costs that drain national budgets. In Burkina Faso and Niger, less than half the population has access to electricity. Mali's rate is only slightly higher. These gaps raise food prices, limit industrial growth, and trap economies in survival mode. But access to international development finance has tightened. Relations with traditional donors have frayed. These gaps raise food prices, limit industrial growth, and trap economies in survival mode. But access to international development finance has tightened. Relations with traditional donors have frayed. Sanctions, risk ratings, and political isolation have pushed the three governments to look inward and regional. BCID-AES is their answer. What we still don't know: many questions remain unanswered. How much capital will the bank start with? Who will manage it? Will it accept foreign partners or remain politically closed? Officials have confirmed that member states will provide initial funding, but no figures have been disclosed. There is also discussion of a confederal levy, tying the bank's income directly to national budgets already under strain. The bank is being modeled loosely on institutions like the West African Development Bank, which raises billions on capital markets. But reaching that scale will require strong governance, credible risk controls, and experienced leadership, no small task in a high-risk environment. A strategic choice ahead of pinning BCID-AES to external partners could unlock capital and lower borrowing costs, but at the price of oversight and compromise. Keeping it closed preserves political control but limits ambition. This choice will define whether the bank becomes a true engine of development or a symbolic institution with limited reach. The bigger picture: Africa's infrastructure financing gap is estimated at up to $100 billion per year, with fragile regions like the Sahel carrying a disproportionate share of unmet needs. Against that backdrop, the message from Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger is unmistakable. They are done waiting, done negotiating from weakness, done relying on systems they no longer trust. With soldiers on one side and capital on the other, the Sahel Juntas are attempting to build a parallel order outside ECOWAS, outside traditional Western frameworks. Whether this strategy brings stability and growth or deeper isolation remains an open question. But one thing is certain: the Sahel is no longer just reacting to global power. It is trying to reshape it. This is Sal Pier, signing off from VlogND, where we work to uncover the true stories of the world and Africa. Thank you for spending your time with us. If you enjoyed the journey, subscribing is the best way to ensure you never miss the next one. We are so grateful for your support.